This is First GenXers.
Y'all cannot hear me, but now you can. Hey, what's up, y'all? What's up? It's me, the one and only Dark Lord 100, aka Double KK Double, from the First GenXers Radio Network, right here on Twitch.tv, and also from Live 365. I don't know if y'all have seen me, but I normally do this show with the one and only OMalley, but unfortunately this week she's feeling a little bit under the weather, so we let her take the week off. I'm going to bring you just a few thoughts. First, we're going to open up with my thoughts and a moment of silence for the man that's on your screen right now. The man, the myth, the legend, Rickey Henderson. So first, let's start out with a moment of silence for Rickey. For those of you who don't know, I'm a huge Oakland A's fan, have been my entire life. Grew up in East Palo Alto, Bay Area, and did a lot of, watching of Oakland Athletics games in the days of, Dave Winfield, Bob Welch, Jose Canseco, Mark McGuire, Rickey Henderson. Rickey was possibly one of my favorite baseball players of all time. The man finished his career. He had looks like he last appeared in 2003 in major leagues. But as a player, he was, oh my God, Rickey was 1979 to 2003, so that's 24 years of playing. He hit 279, had over 3,000 hits, hit around 300 home runs, 1,100 15 runs batted in, and a record that I think will never, ever, ever be broken. And that is 1,406 stolen bases. I believe the record that he broke was Lou Brock's. And Lou Brock's was 938, just to put that into perspective. 938. Rickey stole another 500 bases damn near after breaking Lou Brock's record. And I tell you, the man had the swagger that definitely caused him to be one of baseball's best. The 10 times All-Star, 2-time World Series champion, I believe in '89 with the A's and in '93 with the Yankees. He was the AL MVP in 1990. I had forgotten about that. ALCS MVP in '89. '89 was the year that the A's swept the Giants 4-0 in the World Series. It was the earthquake game. He had a Gold Glove. He won a Gold Glove in 1981, 3-time Slugger of the Year. He had that stance, like if y'all remember him, like a real compact stance. There's a couple of guys who do it like him now, but there was still nobody like Rickey. Like Rickey was that dude. He played for about 5 or 6 different franchises and was a coach for the Mets in '07. He came back to the A's, I want to say in like 2010, 2012, and worked for the front office and helped coach the younger players. 12 times stolen base leader for 6 years, from 1980 to '86, and then again from '88 to '91. And he won it again in '98. Had his number retired by the A's, and he's a member of the Athletics Hall of Fame and the Baseball Hall of Fame. So shout out to Rickey Henderson. He was age 65 when he passed away, and let me just say, bro, you will be missed. There's nothing that can be said differently about that, because you were in baseball a unique, very, very unique player, and you had a unique swagger about you. And may you rest in peace, Ricky Henderson. All right. So as we move forward, we're going to go on ahead and take a look at the Golden State Warriors. It's not quite the All-Star break, but that's coming up soon, like end of February. The Warriors right now are sitting at 15-12 after an impressive win over the Minnesota Timberwolves, dropping them to 14-13. The Warriors are sitting in the seventh slot right now. So if the playoffs started today, they would be in the play-in. We're only 27 games into the season, but this Warriors team is kind of taking us on a ride. They started out the season 12-3 and has been 2-9 since. Yeah, I think they need to turn it around. They lost DeAndre Melton right before they started going on this losing streak, and they just recently got Dennis Schroeder, who's I believe will be basically Schroeder is an older version of Melton. If you ever watched the two of them play, like Schroeder is an older version of Melton. So like Melton is somebody, or they traded Melton to the Knicks, but even though, or not Knicks, but the Nets, but even though he's out for the rest of the season, they're a team that can stumble right now. And here's the thing about it: there is only between the number two team and the Warriors, there's only a 4-game difference. The Memphis Grizzlies, who just beat the Warriors down by 50 the other night, are 20-9, and the Warriors are 15-12. So there's literally like a 4-game difference there. So the Warriors could get hot and still end up in that top 3, top 4. But will they? I don't know. Sorry. And you guys will see Steph, Melton, Buddy Hield coming off the bench, because that's what it's all about. When the Warriors were going on that run that they were on, it was during a time in which Buddy Hield had agreed to come off the bench and was doing his thing. And man, like when he's coming off the bench, he's much fresher and he's much more on top of his game. When he's not coming off the bench, he can get worn out. He had to play some extra minutes with Melton out. So Pods back in his normal rotation with Schroeder and the thing. Schroeder doesn't have to, like, Schroeder was producing 18 points a game. I think he dropped like close to 20 on in his first game. But Schroeder doesn't have to put up 18 in Golden State in order to be effective. He needs to be most effective on that defensive end. That's what a lot of people didn't understand, is what made the Warriors so lethal was that Klay Thompson was a beast on the defensive end, and though he could create his own shot, sometimes, for the most part, he really didn't need to. You know, what we needed from Klay was more on the defensive end, which is why when he tore his Achilles, it hurt that team big time. That he wasn't still, he wasn't still out there. He wasn't the still same old Klay. Even though he's looking like that in Dallas, they did just beat the Warriors the other day, so we'll see. But at this point in time, they needed somebody on that defensive end, because Buddy Hield was basically making up for Klay's the offense that Klay brought off the bench. So if you can get Buddy Hield off the bench, making up for Klay's numbers that he was in the starting lineup, then really what you need in the starting lineup is a dog that can ball handle and that can play defense, and that's the two boxes that DeAndre Melton and Dennis Schroeder check. Now a lot of people are like, well, why'd they trade for Schroeder? He's so old, but I'll be honest with you, that's the reason why the Nets took an injured for the rest of the season DeAndre Melton, is because they realize that if they can lock him back up for another season or two, they basically have a younger version of Dennis Schroeder that they can work with, that they can tinker with their lineup with. So I thought it was a good trade for both teams. Taking a look at some of the other teams, you got the Lakers who finally turned things around. They were kind of during when the Warriors were peaking, they were kind of sputtering along, and they've gotten some good victories. They're at 16-12. They're a half game ahead of the Warriors right now. They're in the 5 spot. I don't know if the Warriors and Lakers have played each other yet this season, but let's see. Let's see. That's the game. So we're going all the way back. No, the Warriors and Lakers have not played each other yet this season. So let's see what happens when they do face each other. Because right now they are the Warriors are a half game back in the Pacific standings. At 15 and 12 with the Lakers at 16 and 12. The Lakers have won 3 straight. So I said the West is going to be interesting this year. I think this is going to be another one of those years where every single person or every single team is going to have to fight and scratch from 1 through 10. All the seedings, they're going to have to fight and stretch to make sure that they get in and they get to the highest seed as possible. And I see the Warriors as a team that can compete with Gary Payton, with Schroeder, with Curry if he can get hot on the scoring end. Draymond Green was out last game and they still played well. So it's been quite an interesting run, and I think that run will continue with the Warriors. Who they got the Pacers coming up next. Let's see what their schedule says. They got the Pacers coming up next. They got. Speaking of the Lakers, they got the Lakers coming up on Christmas Day, so that should be an interesting game to watch. Ty Jackson Davis, Dylan Connect, Austin Rivers, all great players. LeBron James, of course, and it should be interesting to watch. All right, so that's going to do it for me for right now. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we are going to talk some NFL football, including my San Francisco 49ers being eliminated from the playoff contention by Washington and Miami.
Peace. You got to keep it. You got to keep it lovely. You got to keep it. You got to keep it lovely. Success comes right after the struggle. I ain't even giving up on whatever I wanted. The tragedies I've seen, I can't even stomach. Most of y'all weak as shit and would've started running. Every time I make it back to the crib, I'm thankful the Most High let me see all of it. Grateful I'm lovely, and I'm being real with this. Please don't judge me, I'ma stay on my shit. I'ma keep a grind mode button, push it, make it do something. No balls for me, cause I'm a loose cannon. I get to choose, camera, switch it up, look up a new banner. Keep smoking on that Bama.
We back at it. Yep, we still doing it. Poetic beat. First GenXers. Gia. Let's get it, y'all. Come on. We back in the building. It's been a long time cooking in the soup kitchen. And I'm chilling with the same. Dropping these beats, won't stop, nope, I can't. Let me get up in the lab, turn it up. Game on with the first GenXers. What's up? Let's flip on the switch or the Xbox and get up in my zone, I'm clowning. Let me clear my throat for a minute. Shout out to my folks while I'm in it. It ain't nothing but love, it's babe business. I really don't know what's so who ain't feeling this. And this is only the beginning. Now versus then, this is something for the chillin'. Poetic got the joints like McDonald's. I'm loving it. It's the first gen. We're now rocking with Poetic Beats. This is the first GenXers production. Get your PlayStations out. Get your Xbox out. Get your Switch out. Let's get it in, y'all. Holla back.
say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But the definition of beauty is distorted. Yeah, come on. Searching for yourself, so insecure about the way you look, so you go to Miami. You can't find the love within yourself.
Hello, y'all out there in Radio Land and in Video Land. What's up? It's me, Double KK Double, and I'm here to run down for you what the new, as of November 1st, or as of today, lineup is on Live 365. That's right, your place to find all your favorite old and classic Four Aces Present shows starring myself, The Saint, uh, Mr. Deacon, Ms. Optimism, E Reed, and also your boy Cole with the FU Wrestling Podcast, and also a World of Wrestling Podcast. We'll see. Let's go down the roster of the Monday through Friday. At 12:30 a.m., you will open your day hearing an episode of Now versus Then, followed up at 3:45 a.m. by an FU Wrestling Podcast Classic episode. We finish out our mornings at 6:20 a.m. with a double case classroom, 30 minutes. You get a new episode daily. Then we follow that up with a classic episode of K Double's fifth period music class, the show you love me on. I know y'all be watching, listening, and all that. Let's see. And then now we follow that up at the middle of the day on the East Coast and the late morning on the West Coast with 3 hours of Now versus Then Deuce, including a new episode every Wednesday of the new episodes of Now versus Then airing on Twitch right here. If you're watching this on video. Then we follow that up with an episode of KD5P with a new episode every Tuesday at 12:45 p.m. of KW's fifth period music class from Live 365. And then we get 3:20, we get the Worldwide Wrestling Podcast revisited with a new episode of the Cheap Pop Podcast on Thursdays at 3:20. Let's see, and then we get Now versus Then revisited at 5:30. All of these shows from this point forward, with an exception for the next one, or actually, no, just that show is a replay of the Now versus Then from that morning in case you missed it. Then we get West Coast Bias, a classic episode at 9:05 every night, with a new episode of The Classroom every Friday with me and OMalley on Sundays. And then we close out every night with a 40-minute edition of Lip Gloss and Mics. That's all right here on the First GenXers Radio Network, the radio network that brings you the classic episodes from Four Aces Presents Network, radio network on Blog Talk Radio and on Spreaker. You can still catch us over on Spreaker with the podcast. And lastly, I am Double KK Double. Check out my website, 2kk2network.com, to find everything about my network. And I'll see you guys there. Peace. All right, what's up, y'all? And I'm back. All right, so here we go. Last time I hipped you to what was going on Saturdays and Sundays right here on Live 365, and now I'm going to hip you what's going on Monday through Friday. So now I'm going to hip you what's going on Saturday and Sunday. We open up each Saturday and Sunday at 12:30 a.m. with a classic episode of Mr. Deacon's Experience, followed by at 2:40 a.m. An classic episode of Ms. Optimism Speaks. We follow that up with a classic episode. Now, mind you, this is both on Saturday and Sunday. The days don't break apart till a little bit later. But you at 5:15 a.m. you get a classic episode of Brick in a House. Then you can follow that up with an episode of Reality Radio. You know, then at 10 a.m. as usual, she will stay in the same spot. We got Sam Brett with a classic episode of Sam Brett Radio Roulette or some other Sam Brett related show. We'll follow that up at 12:10 with Mr. Deacon Revisited again. Probably play the same episode from earlier in the evening. Then you're going to hear Lovely Radio at 2:45. And then that's where things kind of change up. On Saturdays, after Lovely Radio goes off the air at 4:50, at 5 o'clock, you have KD5P, K Double's fifth period music class, where I bring you music from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the double aughts, whatever type of music you like to listen to, especially if you're Gen X. Then we close the night with a 2 hour, 45-minute episode of the Cheap Pop podcast from back in the day with myself and Alpha, and that will close out our evening. On Sundays, after you hear Lovely Radio, at 4:10, you'll hear an episode of The Classroom from Spreaker, the 45-minute episode version of that show. You'll hear 5:30, the episode of Dirty Talk 101. Yeah, sorry. And then at 7:40, you get an episode of Cheap Pop Podcast Revisited. And then we close the night out with an episode of the Sidebar at 10:10. So that'll do it for Live 365 and everything that we have going on there. I hope you guys have truly enjoyed this, and we'll keep bringing it to you. Live 365, First GenXers Radio Network, Voices Presents, whatever you want to call us. We're here, we're live, and we're not going away. Peace. Oh, snap. Thanks. Thanks for letting me know I am on mute. That sucks. All right, so we'll go back to just the Sunday card. We'll run over some quick games real quick now that y'all can actually hear me. Thank you for WOUI. Got nothing to lose. Right on. Thank you for the good looking out. Key games, Niners lost to Dolphins, eliminating them from the playoffs. Raiders get to 3-12 to losing to after beating the Jags. Woohoo! Buccaneers are now within 2014. Good evening to you as well. I'm Dark Lord 100, aka Double KK Double. I'll say, and we are, and then the Cowboys 2014 right now. You got key games from this morning. Lions running away with the number 1 seed, beat the Bears 34-17. Hope you're having a good evening. I'll say the Colts, they keep their playoffs hopes alive with a 38-30 win. The Rams are starting to run away with the NFC West at 19-9 over the Jets. The Panthers kill the Cardinals' playoff hopes at 36-30. We got the Chargers that won and tied themselves with the Broncos as far as playoffs go. Looks like they're in that hunt. And then we had the Chiefs beat the Texans yesterday, and the Ravens beat the Steelers. That's the one game I didn't touch on. Lamar Jackson looking around in the form and get himself a MVP. And Derrick Henry too, doing that big thing. I'll say. And then we got Saints and Packers tomorrow night on Monday Night Football. I hope that the Saints will give a good game because they really don't have a reason to. The Packers are just a better team, and the Saints aren't really playing for anything because I think they've already been mathematically eliminated from the playoffs anyway. But, all right. So, I do want to say this. You know, I don't like to knock sports fans, but sports fandom, if you're on Facebook or X or any of that, it's just becoming like everybody's complaining about everything. Nobody's happy with anything. A team makes this move, people aren't happy. A team makes that move, people aren't happy. This is why I say is a business. When it comes to retail businesses, you listen to what your consumer base says. That's how you make money. When it comes to doing stuff like this, you listen to what your fan base says. That's how you make money. When it comes to running an NFL franchise, the fans have no clue what they're talking about and what they think should even be considered. There are fans calling for Kyle Shanahan to be fired, even though he's taken the 49ers to 2 Super Bowls in the past 5 years, like in 4 or 5 straight NFC Championship games. He's only missed the playoffs like twice his entire time with them since 2017. So, like, just remember that. Yorks, NFL owners, like, listen to some of what the fans want, but for the most part, when it comes to on-field decision, player personnel, nah, it's not worth it. You see what happens in basketball when everybody listens to LeBron James. The Lakers are 16-12, but they could be better. Well, if that's going to do it for me, I'm going to wrap it up. A big shout out to WOUI. Got nothing to lose. Thank you for tapping in. Thank you for the big shout out for letting me know I was on mute so I can unmute myself. And I will see you guys next week, hopefully with OMalley if she's feeling better. And I'll be on again tomorrow night with College Football 25 from EA Sports and Madden 25 from EA Sports. Till then, y'all, stay up, stay real, and I wish y'all a happy holidays and blessed days to come. Peace.